That new intro is good, isn't it? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Hi everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of Just Good Games. So there is going to be no December preview this month, as I've had a look at the games coming out in December, and to be honest, all the good games this year have come out now, especially in October and November. So what I am going to do, this was inspired by a post I put up on Instagram the other day. I'm going to go through a list of games which I have missed this year, games which I probably should have played but for some reason didn't get round to, I haven't bought, or there were bigger games coming out at the time. So let's crack on then. To start us off is the game which pretty much inspired this list, Control. Over the past couple of months, my interest has peaked in this game and has only been heightened since it's been nominated for a load of awards at the Video Game Awards and was obviously nominated for a load of awards at the Golden Joystick Awards. Control was released on the 27th of August in 2019 for Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. It is the latest game from Remedy Entertainment after the not so successful Quantum Break, and to be honest, that is pretty much why I didn't take too much notice of this game before it came out. The trailers and all the gameplay look so similar to Quantum Break, which was just all show and no play. But this game looks to be a massive step up from Quantum Break and has received some really good reviews and is pretty much in Alan Wake territory from Remedy. I really enjoyed the latest Alan Wake game, it was sweet. I've heard that the story is really interesting and full of mystery. The game mechanics, which revolves around the main character, Jessie Faden, and her use of the service weapon, a supernatural weapon developed by the government, of course it is, and her supernatural powers looks to make for a really unique and interesting gameplay experience. The game revolves around the Federal Bureau of Control, hence the name, the FBC, a secret US government agency tasked with containing and studying phenomenon which violates the laws of reality. As Jessie Faden, the Bureau's new director, players explore the oldest house, the FBC's paranormal New York headquarters. This means that the game takes on a Metroidvania style gameplay as you explore the oldest house and you must acquire more powers to help get past like obstacles which you've encountered before, and then I think you come back and you're able to get past them. I will definitely be picking up this game soon, so expect to have a review and hear about a review in the near future. The next game is a game that I posted about once again on Instagram many months ago, Concrete Genie. Concrete Genie was released on the 8th of October and is a PlayStation 4 exclusive. The story takes place in the small town of Denska, which has been mostly abandoned and polluted. A young boy named Ash regularly doodles in his notebook. A group of bullies steal this book, rip out the pages and scatter them through the city. Ash goes on a quest to recover these pages. Along with this quest, he discovers a paintbrush which can bring his creations to life. Ash must overcome the bullies and bring life back to his hometown. This game once again got favourable reviews, but passed me by as there was other bigger releases around the October time. What really drew me to this game was like the amazing art style, the subject matter and the real world issues of bullying that it confronts. It is not a long game, I think it clocks in at around only 7 hours, but sometimes short gaming experiences are as good as long ones. I remember some of my favourite games of the past few years like Firewatch and What Remains of Edith Finch all being really short but satisfying experiences. This game feels like it will fall into that same category as, you know, you like to have those short games between the big releases, and I tend to pick them up in the summer when there's nothing else really to play. The game and the way you have to draw sort of reminds me of Okami a bit. It also utilises the motion controls of the DualShock 4, which are criminally underused really. You draw creatures which help you achieve your mission of getting your pages back for your notebook, and you use these creatures to take on the enemies. Also, for some reason, the hero reminds me a bit of the hero from Infamous Second Son, like if he was a kid. This looks like a really nice short game, and I will be picking it up in the near future. To be honest, you probably already know about this game. It was one of the most surprising hits of the year. It was the sleeper hit of the year. But guess what? I haven't played it, so I'm going to be talking about it. Untitled Goose Game came out on the Nintendo Switch on the 20th of September this year. The concept of Untitled Goose Game is very simple. You are a goose, and you have to complete objectives by using the goose's many abilities like honking, running, flapping its wings, and grabbing items with its beak to manipulate items and NPCs. This game has surprisingly been compared to the Hitman games, and from looking at the trailers and the game footage, I can sort of get it. There's so many ways to take on each objective, like in the Hitman series, and I suppose, like the Hitman series, you can get very creative with how you do said objectives, and that's obviously where the fun lies. And obviously, also, the fun lies in that you are an annoying goose running around pissing everyone off. There's not much else really to this game, but obviously that's sort of the fun of it, is the whole aspect that you are a goose, and it gives off like a very goat simulator vibe sometimes to me. It's one of those niche titles which you on paper you think, what the hell is this, but it just blows up. It's currently at like £17 on the Switch store, which is maybe a bit too much for me, but it's coming to PlayStation 4, and I do think there's more value on the PlayStation store. So when it hits the PS store, I might see how much it is, and I might pick this game up and give it a go. Super Mario Maker 2 was released on the Nintendo Switch on the 28th of June. If you hadn't guessed by the name, it is a sequel to Super Mario Maker, which came out on the Wii U. Super Mario Maker 2 does really what it says on the tin. You create and play 2D stages from the Mario universe. I played the first one, so have a vague idea of how it works. You can pick different elements from all of Mario's 2D history, e.g. Super Mario Bros., Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario World, New Super Mario Bros. U, and the newly introduced Super Mario 3D World, and you create your own 2D levels with these tools. The fun here is obviously creating as hard a course as possible and unleashing it online for people to try and complete. The only thing is, to get your stage online, you have to complete it yourself first. You can also obviously get your mates over to play your stages via local multiplayer. The sequel also now boasts a sort of single player mode, a single player campaign known as story mode. Very simple. The story follows Mario, Toadette, and several other Toads helping to rebuild Princess Peach's castle. Players must travel through over 100 Nintendo created courses in order to collect enough coins to rebuild the castle. This sounds great, and although I do prefer Mario's 3D adventures, you can't beat a bit of 2D Mario action. At the end of the day, this is a really clever thing which Nintendo have done here. Why make new 2D Mario games when you can give thousands of people the tools to make their own levels? And as long as people keep making them, then people will keep playing them. So you almost, when you get this game, you almost have an unlimited supply of Super Mario 2D levels. So that's awesome. The Outer Wilds. Not to be confused with The Outer Worlds. I've heard a lot about this game, and it was nominated for a load of Golden Joystick Awards, and it even won a few. It was released on May the 29th on Xbox One, and it was released on October the 15th on PlayStation 4. The player takes on the role of an alien space explorer, preparing for their first solo flight. After touching a Nomai statue, the player discovers that they are trapped in a 22-minute time loop, with every loop resetting on the player's death or the local sun exploding in a supernova. In order to solve this mystery, the player begins exploring the solar system, uncovering artifacts and ruins left by the Nomai, an ancient and mysterious race that had once colonized the system. Just saying that description makes me really want to play this game. This game seems so unique. The concept is really unique. There's not many games which use the whole time loop concept. The best one, and the initial one which comes to mind, is obviously The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. And if The Outer Wilds uses that concept anywhere near as good as Majora's Mask did, then we're on to a winner here. The world looks sparse but intriguing all at the same time. It's obviously trying to give the player a real sense of loneliness.
The world though just looks beautiful, and the story slash concept just makes me want to pick up the game right now. For some reason, I get a real The Witness vibe about this game. The art style is sort of similar, and you're just in this amazing world on your own, solving puzzles and unraveling the mystery of this game. The Witness is a fantastic game, by the way. Pick that up if you haven't played it. The more I look at this game, though, the more I am absolutely gutted that I've not picked this up yet. Judgment was released worldwide on June the 25th, 2019. It was released in Japan last year and is a PlayStation 4 exclusive. Judgment is the latest game from the creators of the Yakuza series, except this time you play as a private detective as opposed to a Yakuza boss. This is like probably the 8th game in this sort of series if you don't include remakes. I've only personally played one of the Yakuza games, Yakuza 0, and I wasn't exactly blown away with it, but people said they've been really good, so I just sort of went with it. But it did show me enough to want to delve into that world again. Judgment is pretty much like separate from the main Yakuza series, with I think a few cameos linking it into the mainline series. This game's combat is like very similar to the Yakuza games, pretty much the same as Yakuza 0 and Yakuza 6. It's almost like an old school throwback to like the old beat 'em up style games, but with a new 3D twist thrown on that style. It reminds me of Streets of Rage a little bit, but obviously more modern. Obviously, with your main character being a PI, you get to do loads more detective work in this game as opposed to being a Yakuza boss. You can control drones and tail subjects, although tailing missions are never the greatest. Like all Yakuza games, there is also a load of side missions to do and get distracted by. Although I've heard the karaoke, which was really good in the Yakuza games, is absent from this game. I've heard this is better actually than the most recent Yakuza game, Yakuza 6, and having played the demo of 6 and actually thinking that was pretty good, that means this game must be to quite a high level. So maybe I will pick this game up, and playing it will give me a much better understanding of what makes the Yakuza series so good, and then maybe I will pick up more Yakuza games. So I recommend picking up Judgment.
So, there you have it. Those were some of the games which I have missed in 2019 and games which I probably will end up picking up and buying later down the line. Let me know what games you have missed in 2019 in the comments below. So, thank you for watching, and all I need you to do now is hit subscribe, like, share, comment, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and once again, you have been watching Just Good Games.